This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 924 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the Horses in the Morning show. Jumper rider Diane joins the Hit'em crew with some tips on putting your horse on a fitness program after the long, cold winter or the long layup. And we'll get right to our tip after this important message from Kentucky Performance Products.
This Nutrition Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, the company that simplifies your search for research-proven nutritional supplements at kppusa.com.
The horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. Feeding your horse starch-laden grains can lead to colic, laminitis, and metabolic disease. Today, nutritionists are recommending the use of high-quality fat to provide healthy calories. Fat is an extraordinary energy source. It's readily utilized by the horse and contains more than 2 times the calories of starchy grains. Replacing grain with a high-quality fat supplement reduces a horse's risk of developing health problems. Equijewel Stabilized Rice Bran is an excellent fat supplement. It contains a balanced calcium to phosphorus ratio and won't cause mineral imbalances when added to the diet. Its all-natural ingredients are high in healthy fat and fiber. And best of all, horses fueled by Equijewel stay calmer and more focused on the job at hand. When you need to add healthy calories to your horse's diet, choose Equijewel. To learn more, visit Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com.
This Nutritional Minute has been brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. You can find all of their terrific products at kppusa.com.
And I'm kind of excited because, while we haven't had bad weather here in Phoenix, obviously it's about the most perfect place to be in the whole wide world, I have had a couple horses that have been laid up. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about getting your horses back out after this horrible weather, after the layup, and starting some fitness. So you have some tips for us, Diane.
Yeah, it's a topic that is very much on my mind just because my whole barn didn't go to Florida. I had about half the barn went down south, and those horses obviously are coming back fit and ready to go. But a lot of the other half have been home and have been well taken care of for, and all are pleasantly chubby, and they look great. But horse show season is kind of right around the corner for everybody, and everybody's really excited about it. We are already looking at entry dates and things like that. So I think it's really important to make sure that you kind of approach this time smart. You don't want to rush it. It is so easy to get so excited about horse showing that you'd forget that, these horses just had a slow month. So the biggest thing is that, and I've said it before, is just making sure that you get back on your 5-day schedule of coming out and riding them. That's not jumping them. That's not necessarily even intense work. It is just making sure that these guys are getting nice physical exercise on the flat for 5 days a week. Maybe one of those days will jump, and my program right now is focusing a lot on gymnastics and bounces and a lot on kind of putting the horses maybe into some, one stride and then collecting them for a bounce and then back into a one stride, something like that. Things where they don't have to go for a really long period of time. They're not jumping around for 2 minutes, but they're getting really good fitness within these exercises.
Right. So bringing them kind of out of the barn after being kind of off a month, do you start them with just a walk-only program? What do you do? Do you time it? Is it just kind of each horse by feel?
I would say it is a little bit each horse, and I mean, I would say that differs between a layup and just something that had time off. If it was one that was coming off of an injury, then absolutely. Walking program first, trotting down the long sides, no turns, all that good stuff first. For the ones that have just had, this month off, I just do these hour lessons are 45 minutes of walk, trot, canter with lots of breaks, but the breaks aren't just float your reins and let them walk around. The breaks are working them at the walk, doing some leg yields, doing some turn on the haunches, keeping them energized without wearing them out.
Gotcha. Okay. So what are some things that you look for as your horse, like telling you they're ready for more, or we're pushing them a little too much?
I look for, obviously you look at their muscle structure and whatnot. That can be difficult, though, because some horses are just naturally buff, and some horses are naturally just slender looking. So I guess the biggest thing is I just look for the ability for those hind legs to kind of track into those front tracks. I look for those horses kind of taking those hind legs and really stretching into the front track. If they do that well, for 15 minutes, and then I'm starting to see that kind of dwindle, I'm seeing their hind end start to drag, that's when I think of taking a break. That's how I know if the horses are putting too much weight on their front end, and it does us no good if they're just working that front end. So if they are showing me physically they can't continue working through the hind leg, then it's time for a break.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good to watch out for. Well, let's see. Jennifer, do you have any questions for her about the fitness stuff? Because I know you are getting your horse out and getting fit, and I know it's hard for a horse like Jennifer's because he's a very special, short, kind of chunky quarter horse. Bless his little heart. For horses, their muscle structure, but their personality types, the horses that are prone to getting high versus the horses that are prone to being putt-putts, do the beginning stages of their fitness program vary a great deal depending upon type of horse they are as far as their natural energy level is concerned?
I think that it's all the same broad idea, but absolutely you have to approach it different. Some of my horses are coming out and they are just on the muscle, ready to go, very excited to be working again. And other ones come out, and because of their break, they're actually a little bit lethargic and whatnot. I think, in general, the lethargic ones are kind of the easier ones to deal with at this point because you just focus on getting to them to step up and forward. The hot ones, you have to watch because they're going to want to overwork themselves. They have all this energy, they're very excited, and they're going to want to kind of get themselves kind of into a tizzy. So number one is if you can, turn out. We have a round pen here that is nice that we are able to kind of control a little bit more the footing and whatnot, keep it so that it's not too muddy and too deep. So I use that for the ones that are especially hot. Now that the weather is getting better, we're turning out, and that really, really makes a difference for a lot of the horses just to get some of that zip out. Lunging is always an option. It's an option, again, you have to be careful of because you don't want them to go crazy on the lunge line. If they're good, that's great. If you're worried about them being too wild, well, then you kind of have to take it as slow as you can with those ones, If they'll let you walk them, and then what I do is I do lots of transitions with those guys. Try to do walk, trot, canter, walk. Things that, again, will kind of tire them out without getting them kind of really hot and sweaty and whatnot.
Wow. See, I'm listening to this and I'm realizing that, yes, the horse that I have that's been laid up, I wanted to start getting back to it. And containing him into walk-trot transitions is going to be exciting. It's like walk, gallop, walk, gallop, walk, gallop. But then you want to, work them, but you can't. So that's what's incredibly frustrating about bringing these guys either out or back is you know what's better for them than they do, although they think they know what they need to be doing, and that's going very fast and being an idiot. So
yes,
walk, trot, transition. I guess that's what I'm going to try to do. I mean, because I keep that kind of horse. Like, go ahead.
You want to keep them entertained. That's what I always say. Try to put together some sort of pattern that's entertaining. That's not just down the long side. Now, granted, obviously you don't want to be tearing around. I 100% agree. But if you can, add lots of changes of direction, turn on the forehand and then right back into some sort of transition, anything to keep it so that they start to listen to you and respect you, anything to keep their focus on you. I always find that works the best.
Gotcha. Something that basically having cookies in my pocket might be a good idea. Hey, stand still. Here's a cookie. Here's cookie.
Exactly.
You do what we have to do with that one. Well, cool, Diane. It was great having you on. And if anybody wants to get a hold of you, I did find you at dilittle.com. Also, you've got your website, Piece by Piece Farm. Now, if you do not put piece and piece in the right place, you'll go to an organic farmer's market website. So it is PEACE by PIEC, excuse me.
Well, there you go. To listen to more tips on everything from barn care to websites for horse people, just go to horsetipdaily.com and look for the topics drop-down menu on the left. And if you love listening to the Horses in the Morning gang putting in their 2 cents on everything horse, along with fascinating interviews from around the equestrian world, you can tune in at horsesinthemorning.com every weekday. And now you can have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go with the free Horse Radio Network app for iPhone and Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. And don't forget to support our sponsors out here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's podcast has been brought to you through the generous support of Kentucky Performance Products. You can find them online at kppusa.com and by listeners like you. If you would like to become a supporter of the Horse Radio Network, you can go to horsetipdaily.com and look for the Become an Auditor banner right in the center of the page. You can help support the Horse Radio Network for as little as $1 a month. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.